We start tonight with Gwadar in Pakistan. It's witnessing what's being called the biggest protest in its history. It began almost a month ago. When we started reporting on this, just a few hundred people were on the streets. Today, tens of thousands of people are protesting in Gwadar. You have to see it to believe it. This is a massive movement. It has brought the Imran Khan government to its knees. But the global press is still ignoring the story. No surprises there. The world has largely ignored the plight of Balochistan. It has played a mute spectator as the Pakistani military committed crimes against humanity and the Chinese moved in to colonize Gwadar. The world looked the other way. So the people of Balochistan, left with no choice, began protesting. The numbers have been swelling. Tonight on Gravitas, we are taking you to ground zero. My colleague Anas Malik is reporting from Gwadar. We are the only Indian network reporting live from the site of Pakistan's biggest protest at the moment. Today is day 28 of this protest. 4 weeks ago, Islamabad was ignoring these people. Now it is paying the price for it. The anger has boiled over. Look at the crowds that gathered over the weekend. The world has never seen this side of Gwadar. It is a port city on the southwestern coast of Balochistan, the richest province of Pakistan with the poorest people. Balochistan has nearly $1 trillion worth of mineral deposits, but its people do not benefit from any of it. They don't have clean water to drink. They don't have jobs. They don't have basic facilities like power, gas, schools and hospitals, so they're protesting. And they're finding support all over Pakistan. The protests that began in Gwadar have now spread to other parts of Pakistan. Over the weekend, there were solidarity rallies across the country. People marched on the streets in at least 9 districts. Protesters turned up in major cities like Lahore and Karachi. Back in Gwadar, women took to the streets today, hundreds of them. WION's Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik was at the rally. He sent us this report.
Thousands of women have gathered in Pakistan's southwest, the port city of Gwadar. They're demanding their rights. They're demanding that sea life in the area of Gwadar should be protected and that their demands should be paid a heed to. They've been out on the streets protesting for the past 1 month, and protests like these are now a frequent here in the port city of Gwadar.
This movement is turning into an uprising against both the Pakistani government and the Pakistani military. Why do I say that? Because of this man, Maulana Hidayatur Rahman. He's the face of the Gwadar protest. Rahman belongs to the Jamaat-e-Islami. He's the local leader of this group in Gwadar. Traditionally, the Jamaat-e-Islami has been an ally of the Pakistan army. But now they seem to have switched sides. They're mobilizing the crowds and driving these protests. And they're doing this against both Islamabad and Rawalpindi. The Pakistani government and the military have a real problem on their hands. Imran Khan can no longer pretend to ignore these protests. On Sunday, he issued his first official response. It was a tweet. This is what he said. Let me read it out for you. I have taken notice of the very legitimate demands of the hard-working fishermen of Gwadar. We'll be taking strong action against illegal fishing by trawlers and will also speak to the Chief Minister of Balochistan. It took almost a month for Imran Khan to acknowledge these protests. His response is honestly a joke. The protesters of Gwadar have made 19 demands, 19. The Pakistani Prime Minister has promised to act on one, that is illegal fishing. Why only one? Fishing is the main source of livelihood for the people of Gwadar. But the Chinese mafia is now taking over. They're using machines to catch fish, and in the process, they're stealing the livelihood of the locals. Here's how. This video was shared by a lawmaker from Gwadar. How can the locals compete with this massive Chinese operation that you just saw? Reports say Chinese fishing trawlers were given licenses to fish. The Pakistani government issued those licenses. Do you know what this means for the fishermen of Pakistan? Going by one estimate, 3 million livelihoods could be wiped out. 3 million thanks to Imran Khan's licenses and to Chinese fishing activity. So will China stop its fishing activities? Beijing has said nothing. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has spoken on this issue only once, and that was last month. China called the protests in Gwadar fake news. No statement after that. China seems to have decided that this is Pakistan's problem. Again, it's a mistake. The people of Gwadar are angry. The people of Balochistan are angry. They've suffered oppression at the hands of the Pakistani state for decades. The Pakistani military has kidnapped, tortured and killed thousands of them. Going by one claim, 47,000 people in Balochistan have either disappeared or gone missing in the last 7 decades. In 2019 alone, more than 500 people disappeared. More than 240 were killed by the Pakistani security forces. The situation, in a nutshell, is bad. It was bad. China's entry made it worse. The locals believe that the Chinese threaten their very existence, that this is breaking point. By 2023, around 500,000 Chinese citizens could move to Gwadar. Do you know what's the domestic population of Gwadar? Around 85,000 according to one report. This was as of 2014. In 2020, Gwadar's population is estimated to be around 138,000 people. The Chinese would clearly outnumber the Baloch in Gwadar. And if that happens, Gwadar would become a Chinese colony, if it isn't one already, that is. And that is why the locals are protesting. They're not just fighting for jobs and for better living conditions. This is a fight for their very existence. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.